Alright, we're going to be talking about a full guide to making friends in real life. I've seen a few guys on YouTube talking about how young men can make friends on like the internet or on video games and stuff, but I'm going to be teaching you guys how to actually make friends in real life as a teenager from a 15-year-old, so you guys know this advice is actually genuine, and this is the actual advice that has worked for me and will work for you if you apply the same principles. We're gonna go over exactly how to make friends in real life as a young man. I'm gonna go in depth into a couple of steps you can use to start making friends as a young man. And these aren't just gonna be any friends. We are gonna help you meet your ideal friend. We're gonna meet someone who has similar hobbies as you, is a competitive and supportive friend. We're gonna help you meet people that are literally the exact friend you wish you have. But let me start off with my story so you know why I know how to make friends now. Just a couple of years back, I was extremely lonely. I had zero friends and I would pretty much just spend all day doing nothing. Playing video games, doing the average like consumer stuff of eating junk food, watching Netflix and stuff, probably living a life pretty similar to the life you're living right now. I would always see on people's Snapchat stories that they were out with their friends having a great time at all these events and stuff, and I would just wish I had some friends, but I didn't know how to meet them. I was so scared to go out there and just talk to someone or make a friend, and had no clue where I would even meet some friends and what I would say to meet them and how I should act or anything. So I just spent months and months and months overthinking and never making friends. Until I started to do a couple of things that then allowed me to make more friends. And now I'm so grateful and happy to have all the people that I have around me at jiu-jitsu and just my friends in general. I want you to repeat this after me. If you feel lonely, you are not alone. A lot of young men who are lonely think that they're the only ones, and they see everyone else, like literally it feels like everyone else is out there with their friends partying and having fun, and you're the one that's at home doing nothing. But I promise you, you are not alone. If you feel lonely, there is thousands and thousands of young men who feel, maybe even hundreds of thousands of young men who feel the exact same way. Especially in today's digital age, not a lot of people know how to actually make friends in person. But if you follow this step-by-step guide, I guarantee you will start to make friends in person. Alright, so the first step, and it's kind of not a step, but it's just something that you need to do, is develop hobbies. I don't care if you're like,
yeah, Adam, my hobbies are playing video games.
You need to develop some IRL hobbies to meet IRL people. This would seem like common sense, but a lot of young men who want to make friends and who are lonely don't actually have any hobbies. I know I mentioned the gym, but it can literally be anything, bro. If you like playing basketball, then that's perfect. If you like playing soccer, then that's what we're gonna use. You just need some type of in real life hobby. And it doesn't even have to be related to sports or activity. You can just say, like playing pool. That's all I can really think of on the top of my head. Like, maybe you like playing ping pong or something. I don't know. If you just like doing some type of hobby, that... Nah, I'll redo that. Chances are if you have trouble making friends, it's because you don't have hobbies. So we just need you to get a few things that you enjoy. For me, when I first started making friends, it was basketball. I would play basketball quite a bit. Like, when I would hit the gym, I would play some basketball after, and I made countless friends playing that. And a lot of friends that I went on to go work out with and have a super sick time with. And a lot of those friends actually became some of my good friends, and we would work out and hit lifts and stuff. So you just need some type of hobby, some type of sport. I personally think if it's anything that there's a level of experience needed to play, it will be the most ideal to make friends. So it doesn't even need to be sports. If you like playing pool or ping pong or something and there's a level of skill, it will be really easy for you to make friends in that sport.
So bro, don't just be like, I don't have any hobbies though, Adam.
You'll have some type of hobby, and that's what we're gonna use. So now that you have some hobbies, we can move on to the actual steps. So step number 1 is identifying who your ideal friend is. I want you to just take a second to think of what your ideal friend is. Just picture what they look like, how they sound, how they talk, the way they support you, the way they help you reach your goals, the way they compete with you. Think of every little thing you would want in your absolute ideal friend. It's important that we know this because then we can figure out where we're gonna find your ideal friend at. This is extremely important because if you do not do this, when you go out and you try and make friends, you'll probably end up making friends with people who you don't even want to be friends with. Alright, so now that we know who your ideal friend is, it will be pretty easy to find them. If your ideal friend plays basketball, well, the place you'll probably find them is at a basketball court. If your ideal friend does martial arts, well, you'll probably meet them at a martial arts gym. So now it becomes easy to find out where your ideal friend is hiding at. And now you can move on to step number 3, which is figuring out how you can get that person to be your friend. You know what your ideal friend is, you know what their hobbies are, you know the way they look, act, and sound, so you can know what to look out for. Now you need to picture what their ideal friend looks like, and you need to make yourself into that ideal person. So your ideal friend plays basketball and is probably around the same age as you and also hits the gym. What would they be looking for in you? What benefit did they get from you being their friend? It's not always just about picturing what your ideal friend is, it's picturing what an ideal friend would want from you. Because then you know exactly what to provide to them to become their friend. So you know what type of friends you want, you know where to find them, and now you make yourself into the ideal person that they would want to hang out with. Now, what do you say to them? How do you go up to them? How do you speak to them? What do you do to actually secure them as your friend? So now we need to have some initial connection with them. This might be 1v1ing them in basketball or sparring with them, but we need an initial connection where we can make a few jokes, hit a few shots, be like, oh, haha, bro, I hit that on you. And then you're like smiling, having a good time, or like they've thrown a few punches and you're like, oh man, you were hitting me in there. Or they've like hit you with a few punches and you're like, oh bro, you were absolutely destroying me in that sparring match, but hey, good rounds and everything. This is the initial connection, and this is where we move on to actually making them a friend. Now you've sparred with this person or you've played a few rounds of basketball with them. How do we then make this into a friend that you can hang out with multiple times? So if they've been friendly, you've been making some jokes, and you've been like smiling and having a good time with them, then all you literally have to say is just like, oh man, that was a good round, that was a good sparring round, that was a good basketball game. What's your Snapchat, man? You seem cool, we should hang out sometime. Remember the quote from earlier, if you feel lonely, you are not alone. There's a high chance that that guy feels just as lonely as you, and he would love to have a friend. But if for some reason he is like, oh nah man, it's all good, but that was a good round anyway, then it's fine. You know that wasn't your ideal friend because your ideal friend wouldn't have said no to you. So you can just say, no worries, hey, it was good to spar though, or it was good to play a game of basketball. See you around. So far we've got a semi-friend, but they're not actually our friend until we hang out with them a few times. So the goal should be to invite them to somewhere similar to the place you met within the next few days or weeks. If you let too much time pass by, they probably won't want to hang out with you anymore, so it's important that you do it within the first few days or weeks of meeting them. And then when you meet them, you're just going to be their ideal friend. You're going to try and provide them with as much value as possible, and if everything goes well, then congratulations, you now have a friend. You've made some hobbies, figured out who your ideal friend was, went to the place that they hang out, been their ideal friend, and then gotten their phone, invited them to a place. So now you just got to be their ideal friend. You just got to provide them with some value, be a good friend to them, and the more you guys hang out, the more they'll become a good friend. And this might even be a person who becomes one of your best friends. So congratulations, your loneliness is cured. So now you know how to make friends IRL as a young man. It's honestly way easier than it sounds. Becoming friends with someone is literally as easy as just having a shared interest and knowing what to do. So now that you know what to do, you're going to be making friends left and right. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see similar tailored content to young men and teenagers, I recommend you go down and click on the subscribe and post notification button, because it is a win-win for both of us and you won't miss a video when it comes out. Be a doer, not a thinker. See ya.